Hey guys, so today for Vlogmas, I'm going to show you guys how I install my lace wig, how I pluck my frontal, how I leave my baby hairs, what glue I use. I'm going to show you all the details about it. This wig is from myfirstwig.com, and this is not a sponsored video, so this is legit just how I install my hair. So let's get started. So this is how the hair looks, the hairline looks after I have bleached the knots. If you guys want to see a video on me bleaching the knots, then make sure to like this video so I know. So this hairline is pre-plucked. It comes like this, but it needs to be plucked even more, because if not, then it's really going to look really crazy. So I'm going to take my best pair of tweezers. You can get some good tweezers on Amazon or even at your beauty supply store. I would recommend Amazon. And I'm going to just pluck the hairline. So one thing you want to make sure you do when you're plucking is you want to make sure that your frontal or your lace wig is wet, because that's how you see where the hair needs to be plucked or thinning. When the hair is dry, it's a little more thicker and you can't really see anything when it's dry. When it's thin, you can see if it's thinning too much. When it's wet, you can see if it's thinning too much or if it's too thick. So make sure you have a spray bottle next to you, and I'm just going to continue plucking all over the hairline, and I'm going to make sure that I'm plucking behind the hairline. So I don't want to pluck those hairlines that are right in front. I'm going to pluck a little bit behind, if you understand what I mean. So I'm just basically going to show you guys this in fast motion, because this is a really long process. You might get some cramping. One thing you also want to make sure you do is to brush through the hair, take breaks and brush through it so that you can see what you're doing, and also make sure it's wet. As you can see what I'm doing now, making sure I'm brushing it and looking at the process before I continue plucking, because you do not want to overpluck, because you'll look bald, okay? And we do not want that at all. So I'm just gonna let you guys watch this part of me plucking. As you can see, I'm going a little behind the hairline, just so that I could thin those parts out and make it look really, really natural. This took me about 30 minutes, honestly. So as you can see here, the hairline started to get a little dry, so I'm wetting it some more, and I am going back in. This time I'm going to, of course, keep plucking, but I'm going to start taking, I'm going to part the front of the hairline away, because I really don't want to make a mistake and pluck that. So I'm just going to take it away and do behind that part.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
So after I'm all done plucking, this is what I finished with, and this is how much hair I took out that came out of the brush. And if you have a bolder hairline than I did, then you might have more, which is okay. So now I'm going to start installing. So this is my natural hair. It is very greasy. I don't like to wash my hair often. I know it sounds nasty, but honestly, this is how my hair grows, and my edges are raggedy as hell right now, so don't judge me. But this is my hair, and I'm gonna just braid this into like some meat meal braids going back, because it don't really matter how my hair looks under, as long as it's in braids just like this. Like you see I didn't even part it right, like I didn't even care, but this is just how my hair grows. So I'm gonna leave it as that, and I'm going to put the wig on because I want to see how the hairline is looking, and this is gonna help me determine if I need to keep plucking or like what I want to do next, you know, if I want to start cutting the lace off and applying or what. So this is how it looks after I plucked it myself, and I'm really liking it, so I think I'm gonna keep it like this. And I'm just seeing how it fits to my head as well, and yeah, basically just seeing if I want a middle part before I cut the lace. You really have to figure all of this out before you cut the lace, because the lace is the most important part. So as you can see, I just gelled back the hairline so that there's not much hair like getting in my way, and I'm gonna just put it in a little like half top knot so that that hair is out the way. I'm fitting it to my head, and I am going to start cutting. So what I do is I cut a line straight up the middle, and I cut most of the lace off, but not all of it. So all the lace that's still on there has to come off. Like this is not how it's gonna be. So I really just cut most of it off just so I can get close to the hairline and get to, like, you know, the tedious details and stuff like that. But I really just want that extra lace off. So now I'm gonna go start cutting closer to the hairline because I want it to look really natural, and I like to start with the sideburns first. So I'm gonna cut from one side to the other. And my technique in making the lace invisible is to cut the lace kind of raggedy. If you cut a lace straight across, you're gonna see it. You're going to see it. So never ever do that. As you can see, I'm doing my scissors like zigzag, and this is the real trick of what most of the popular hairstylists on Instagram or whatever, this is what they do. They cut in like a zigzag. As you can see, it's not that zigzag. It doesn't look zigzag on my head, but I'm basically narrowing it down to that. So the lace process is really just narrowing it down to it being raggedy. So as you can see, I cut a big chunk of it off, and now I'm cutting little pieces of it off, and then I'm just gonna go in and cut a little bit more off. So it's really just narrowing it down to the hairline. Then I'm gonna part it just so that I just know how it looks. I don't know, I have to make sure I see potential in it, and this is not how the lace is gonna look, so don't worry, ladies. I still have so much more to cut off. Like it's so much extra lace that is in front of my hairline. Like that lace should not be there at all. So I'm just trying to fit it to the side of my head because you do not want lace on your ears, because first off, it's very uncomfortable. Second off, the wig will not fit like that, so it will continue to lift. And so I have some extra lace near the sideburns, and then I'm gonna cut a little like piece like right over my ear, and I'm gonna fit it to sit behind my ear. As you can see, I just stabbed the lace, and now I'm gonna cut it around my ear. I'm sorry, I'm saying the same thing over, but that's just how I do tutorials. I don't know, most of you guys already know how I do tutorials. I be saying the same stuff over and over. And then I'd be like, it's hard to explain. Okay, so as you can see, my ear, it falls perfectly behind my ear, and now this is where I create my sideburns. So I'm gonna cut that excess lace that was behind my ear, and now I have a sideburn. Yay! And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. As you can see, the lace is covering my ear. I'm gonna shape my ear to fit that lace, poke a hole, and you want to make sure you're not cutting off the sideburns, because the sideburns is really what keeps your lace wig down, just so you know. You need sideburns, okay? You want to be really careful with this part. This is the part that I always had a problem with. It was really hard for me to understand this part. Doing a lace wig is a real technique that you have to really practice that. You don't get it overnight unless you're a damn magician, and I'm not. So I really had to practice this. And yeah, this is the part that was always confusing to me because I didn't know how I should cut it. So now I'm going back in to that front of the hairline, and I'm just zigzagging that and cutting off excess parts.
Purchase your tracks today.
And sometimes I like to go back in while the wig is on my head with the tweezers and just pluck a little bit more just so that it looks perfect, because I do have it on, so it might look a little different. And I just pluck it to my liking. Really, it's really all about what you like. It's no right or wrong way. It's how you want it to look, how you want it to fit. And as you can see, the wig is looking a little more natural than it did earlier, as I promised you guys. So I'm gonna go and start gluing it down. And I took it off. I don't know why I took it off. I don't know why. But I'm putting it back on, and I'm making sure it fits still. And making sure that, you know, it looks right. And I'm basically fitting it to my head where I want it to lay. So that's why I'm tugging at it so much, because I'm moving it back and moving it forward. And I'm making sure, like, you know, before I glue it down, the baby hairs will look nice. You really have to make sure that everything is looking good. One, before you cut the lace, and right after you cut the lace. Like, you literally have to double check everything. That's the real technique. So I am going to be using some Ghost Bond lace glue. You can find this on Amazon. I have used this in past tutorials. This is a really, really, really good glue. I'm going to use a lip liner pencil to mark where I want the peak of my wig to be. Once I know where that wig should lay right in the middle of my forehead, then, you know, all the other sides I don't have to mark, because really it has nowhere else to go, the other parts. So the only part I really label is the middle of my forehead, and that's what I glue down first. I don't like to glue down my sideburns first, because I don't know, it gets a little confusing to me, because the wig can shift, I feel like, and it just might not be the same. I like to glue down the middle and then go side to side. And I use really thin layers of the Ghost Bond glue, and I apply this with chopsticks. I get these chopsticks at Michael's. These popsicle sticks, I'm sorry, not chopsticks. Popsicle sticks. But you can use whatever you want. You can use a brush, you can use your finger, you can use a piece of paper, you can use literally anything you want. And I'm going to blow dry that glue just so that it, you know, dries a little faster with some cold air from my blow dryer. And I'm going to lift my wig and place it right down on the glue. So before I like secure that wig, I'm going to make sure the sides are even and that they're fitting correctly how I wanted it. And now I like it, so I'm going to start pressing it into that glue with a comb. I don't want to use the back of my hand because my hand has oils, which can change the glue color. So sometimes when I do my lace wig and I put it down from the middle, sometimes it might shift where one sideburn has more lace than the other. So that's why I have to double check it right before I secure it on the glue, if you guys understand what I mean. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you. And this is when I start doing the sides. I feel like doing the middle of your head makes so much more sense than doing the sides and then doing the middle. Like, I don't know, it just makes so much more sense. So I put that glue down. I do it in sections, and I like to put glue down on both sides at once and make sure these dry, because it just works faster for me. And usually I don't like to blow dry sometimes. I like to just watch movies while it's drying, or go on my phone for like a hot second. And once it's clear, it's dry. And as you can see, I'm pulling it down. And you can also tell if it's dry if you take the tail of your comb and it's really hard to, like, you pull. I'm gonna make sure I use the back of the comb to press that lace wig into that glue. Then I'm gonna go onto my sideburns. Now, near my sideburns is where I put a little bit of glue on my hair, just because I feel like this is the part that needs to be the most secure for some odd reason. Like I said earlier, your wig does not lay down if you don't have sideburns, because that's what keeps it down. That's just how I feel. I don't know, but that's just how I feel. And I'm gonna put a little bit of that on my hair, because that's just where most of my hair is. And I'm gonna make sure that everything is down. And this is basically how it looks. And I'm gonna go in to flat ironing. I usually let this sit and I wrap it for like 5 minutes, but I don't know, I was really impatient this day, so I'm gonna use some Caviar oil. This is my favorite oil for weave and lace wigs. It works so well. And I'm gonna just put that all over the hair before I flat iron it. And I'm going to start flat ironing with my flat iron. I should have honestly left it like this. Like, it looks so cute. Like, I love this. It looks so natural. And I flat iron in sections, so I like to go from bottom to top. And I'm gonna use a flat iron. I can't even remember where this flat iron is from, so please don't even ask, because girl, I do not know. Okay, I don't know where this flat iron is from. Honestly, the tools that I use are not from popular places. Like, it's either like someone gave it to me, or I got it at a beauty supply store and the name scratched off. So really, you just have to use what you like. I don't know where this is from at all. So yeah, I'm just gonna flat iron this. You guys already seen me do this millions of times, so I'm not gonna really talk in this part.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
And this is how the hair looks. This hair is so amazing for my first wig. I actually like my first wig's hair. It's really quality, so I really like it. And I'm gonna use a hot comb to make sure that parting is super duper flat. This is a plug-in hot comb that I can plug into the wall, and I like to use these ones for wigs. I don't like to use the real hot combs. I like these ones because I don't know, I just think they're good for wigs. And I love it. Like, I love this. So I'm gonna put my hair back and I'm gonna start doing my baby hairs. And I'm gonna take like literally thin pieces of hair out, and this is what's gonna help me create my baby hair. I'm basically like seeing how it's gonna look before I do it. You have to see how everything looks. I keep telling you guys this. See how everything looks before you secure it, meaning like securing your wig, gluing it down. So I'm gonna be using some Got To Be glue. This is the best stuff on earth for baby hair. It's like the best stuff ever. And I like to do my sideburns first because it just gives me a sense of direction of what I want to do near my forehead area. So my sideburns just, I don't know, they just help me really like determine what I want to do. And I like to move from the bottom to the top. So one thing you don't want is too many baby hairs, because then it will look really fake. So you can either like do your sideburns, then do one like right here, and then do one like right on your forehead. Or I put a little bit more than I usually do. As you guys know, I don't really put that much baby hair down. Like, I have baby hairs, but I don't put as much as I do this time. But yeah, you guys can just watch, because I feel like me talking is no help. So you guys can watch and I'll get back to you. And also, you don't want your baby hairs to look like they're not real. So make sure you're combing it really good so that it looks natural and it looks real soft. You don't want them to look like chunks that are just being swooped. Like, please, okay? So I usually like to use a toothbrush with the got2b, and then I take a comb to make sure that it's a little softer, because sometimes the toothbrush can, you know, make the hairs all go all together, if you get what I'm saying.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
This is basically how my hair came out. I actually loved it so much. It stayed on for about 2 weeks. If you guys want to see more hair videos, make sure to comment below. But if you guys want to see a full-on hair tutorial on like bleaching the knots and more detailed, then make sure you like this video, because that lets me know what type of content you guys want. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you decide to, you know, follow my method of doing a lace wig, then make sure you tweet me and let me know, because I love when you guys let me know that you like what I'm doing. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying Vlogmas, and I'll see you later. Love you guys.
Purchase your tracks